What's up, YouTube? Dan the RPG Man here, coming in swinging with the second game on the chopping block, Super Neptunia RPG. So let's get into it. First off, what even is the Neptunia franchise? Well, the Neptunia series is basically a funny representation of the console wars done in a style comparable to Avatar: The Last Airbender. Long ago, the four consoles lived together in harmony. Wait, four? Yeah, because there used to be Sega, and the MC, Neptune, is based on the unreleased Sega Neptune console. The four nations are Pleneptune, La Station, Lowi, and Leanbox. And the main cast alternates between buddies, rivals, and enemies, with each competing on the planet of game industry for shares, like market share. It's a funny idea and concept with some heavy bias on how things get implemented. So the game is kinda short, but it also feels like it's too slow and a bit of a drag. It's also funny how the audio only has English and Japanese as the options, but the text can only be put in either English or French. What weird options. And it also feels loaded. Like, I feel like if I put the text into French, the game would immediately surrender and lock me out of playing.
Okay, men, to action! We surrender!
On to the actual game with Japanese audio. And holy shit, the translators fucking suck. They can't translate worth a damn. I only know a bit of Japanese, obviously due to all of the anime binging. But damn, is the translation off in the worst way possible. So, we start off with the setup. There's the current goddesses all getting amnesia for some reason, and we get to the heart of the game. The game alternates between a 2D side-scroller with minor platforming and one of the worst JRPGs I have ever played. The way the battle system works is, you have a party of up to 4 characters, each with a single attack preloaded and based on their position, based on the face buttons. You can't change attacks in battle, only in the options menu. Certain skills and attacks can only be applied based on the position or face button, meaning each character with a full party can bring in 4 skills, 1 for each position. Positions will rotate when pushing R1 or L1. You can open options at any time to see enemy health and weaknesses and resistances, which doesn't help much as you can't change your already set skills. You can also use items or try to run away. The combat happens as a button masher with an ATB gauge. Each action takes a certain amount, so combos happen when you save up more of the gauge. If you hit an enemy's weakness, you gain extra, but hitting a resistance makes you lose extra. If you fill up your break gauge, you can unleash a powerful super move, but the gauge fills so slowly that most times I couldn't even activate it against bosses. About 80% of the way through the game, you gain access to the goddess gauge, which lets you transform, giving a solid stat increase of like 15% for the battle. Yeah, combat is simultaneously stupidly easy, yet super frustrating. Why can't we swap our skills in battle? Why is the fast forward still so slow? Why is there so much battle lag? Why do some battles not end with results and softlock you? Yeah, the game is also super glitchy, both in and out of battle. It's bad enough that the platforming in battles are incompetent, but the fact that opening the menu can crash the game, or at least lag it for a solid minute, using items or fleeing can softlock battles. You can go into a battle with no knowledge of the absorbs or resistances and have an unwinnable battle against an enemy because not a single skill can even damage the foe. Yeah, the game is pretty bad, and the characters aren't much better. Neptune, aka Sega, is only really competent in battle, being a decent all-arounder with a focus on HP so she can also tank. There's Noir and Blanc, who are practically joined at the hip for most of the game, funnily enough. Blanc, the Nintendo rep for the Wii, is a cleric with heavy attacks that tickle enemies and is the best healer and supporter of the roster, while Noir is our black mage with the most varied pool of attack magic and some of the highest DPS around. I lost track of how many bosses went down in 3 casts or less with the Sony rep. There's Chrome, supposedly based on the Super Famicom, aka the SNES, but she loves to show up for a little while, bail, show up again, and bail again. Chrome is kinda like another all-rounder, but she falls off towards the end and is worse than the other 3, but still better than the last bitch. And finally, there's Vert, the Xbox micro-penis rep, who is terrible at pretty much everything. She gets no exclusive elements, has no unique moves, attempts a bit of everything but sucks at all of it. Vert is basically useless. Her one redeeming quality that the characters even reference is that she's got massive tits, and they get even bigger in her goddess form. That's literally it. The writers and creators obviously lament the downfall of Sega, view Nintendo and Sony as competent and specialists, and Xbox as a loser who can't do anything right but at least has sex appeal. The story is kinda funny too. There's a fascist faction that only wants 2D games to exist and do everything in their power to prevent 3D from existing. Beyond that, it's pretty basic. The trophy list is mostly uneventful. Most will be gotten naturally, save for the final few pieces like 15 hunts, where you must be at least level 75 and to even accept the last one in order. Grinding to level 100, which is in excess of nearly 40 levels minimum for the rest of the game. Getting 50 different weapons, meaning never sell your weapons ever, as many are unique and you can't get them back. Finding all 7 tome key items, although only 1 is missable, and getting 100 different accessories. Most everything else is something natural save for a few of the missable scenes due to the teleport options, which could have you miss some of them. The game is also thankfully short. Not super short like under 10 hours, but not overly long like 30. I got the platinum in around 16.5 hours. The platinum is a 1.5 out of 10 due to some missables being really annoying, but not too bad. As for the patented ban the ranking man rating, the game is only a 36 out of 100. Yeah, it's pretty low due to the lack of memorability, and there were a lot of glitches and forced resets. The localization was god-awful, and the battle system could have been something good, but no actual options in battle sucks. You can't pre-plan for a fight you don't know is coming. So, like, subscribe, and hype the video. Stay tuned to see how platforming Cult of the Lamb goes. Comment down below which of the goddesses is your favorite and why. And remember, only losers would still be gaming on modern Xbox in 2026.